Alright, so this is a pepper review for the Thunder Mountain Longhorn pepper. Alright, so let's get back here. Here's one of them that are ripe. That's the one we're going to taste test. And here's the plant. Up here, as you can see, there's a bunch more coming off of here. And let's go over the plant profile. Alright, so the plant leaf type is generally a narrow leaf. Very narrow, actually. It's a smooth stem, and it's got a little purpling at the nodes, but the plant itself is not generally a purple stemmed plant, but you do get purpling at the nodes, so don't take that like, I got the wrong variety because the pepper, the plant's showing purpling. No, most pepper plants do show purpling at the nodes for whatever reason, so you will get that a lot, but I do point that out because I don't want you to think that you got the wrong variety just because you see a little purple on the plant. So let's see. Let's take a look at one of the green ones. Now this is a very good typical example of this pepper. It's very gnarly, very curly and twisty, and that's a good example. This is kind of not the best example in the world, but if you leave the plant where it gets a lot of sunlight and it can grow really vigorously, you will get the more gnarlier shapes. Here's another one here. Nice, twisty, and gnarly. And that pepper will get quite long if you leave it on there long enough. So, let's pick this one. If I could. There we go. Now, this one looks kind of like a, regular cane. It's kind of flat on one side. And it looks like a regular cane, but as you can see, where is it? So you can see up here, this one's very long, thin, spindly, and gnarly. So that's really what the profile of the pepper would generally look like. That's what you should be seeing. But you will see peppers like this as well. Kind of looks like a long, thin, thick cane, but not quite. But it is kind of in that family, so it is kind of a thin and narrow pepper. So give you a better look at it, and then we will turn you around and give you the taste test. Oh, that's what it looks like. All right. I can just about hang this from my finger because it's got a nice hook on the end of it. And let's give it a taste test. Alright guys, here we are with the Mountain Longhorn pepper, right? Isn't that what it's called? Thunder Mountain Longhorn pepper. And so that's what this is. First year growing this, so I don't know much about it. I would imagine it's in the cayenne family, but probably crossed with something else. You can see the cap on it, very much like a cayenne type of a cap. And these peppers can get quite gnarly and long and really spindly and stuff. So it's a very interesting pepper to grow. I am going to focus a little more on this next year. I'm going to try to bring these plants in and keep them alive over the winter, and hopefully I can get it out early enough and maybe get an earlier harvest. Maybe I'll even plant it out somewhere so it gets a better growing, better growing conditions rather than cramping everything into one tight little spot, which unfortunately, even though I have over an acre of land, I don't want to turn my whole 1 acre of land into one big garden. So I kind of force everything tight into this little area. If I had more land, I would spread them out more. No question on it. I don't necessarily think growing them this tight, this close together is necessarily going to give you the best production, but nevertheless, I do get enough, at least so we can at least review some of the peppers and look at some of the different shapes that come out of them. All right, so why don't we give it a bite and see what it tastes like. Very nice. Well, straight out the gate, flavor-wise, the heat is starting to build, so let's let it build. Flavor-wise, It had a nice sweet taste to it. Nice, apple-y type fruit taste to it. It also had a little bit of a tangy flavor with it. But a lot of my peppers are exhibiting a little bit of a tangy flavor this year. But it does have a nice tangy flavor. And as far as the pepper part of it goes, it's kind of low in flavor. Only the reason why I say that is because the other flavors, the sweetness and the tanginess, was really overwhelming it more. But there is a peppery flavor in there. I'll take another bite. So what I can say is as far as the pepper taste part of it, if you've ever eaten a sweet cane, there's actually a pepper called sweet cane. If you've ever eaten that pepper, it kind of tastes like that one. It's a cayenne that has a sweetness to it. A lot of cayennes don't have sweetness to it. But that particular variety of cayenne is sweet. This tastes a lot like that one, to tell you the truth. It actually kind of grows like that one, too, if you looked at some of these peppers, but not quite. But it does have a really nice, even peppery flavor. As far as the heat on this thing, I'm not going to... I mean, that's just this one. I mean, some of these could probably get hotter, but this particular pepper, maybe 200 on the Scovilles, maybe. I would say it can probably get hotter than that. Maybe 500 to 800 Scovilles, I'm sure. The heat is very even. It goes across the top of the tongue, around the edges of the tongue. And no heat in the back of the throat, nothing like that. It's a very even, smooth type of heat. No throbbing, pounding, pulsating type of heat. Punishing heat. Nothing like that. Very easy. Anybody can do this pepper. I'm not feeling any kind of a butt gum at all. I'm not feeling any kind of a gut bomb at all. It's nice and even. And it tastes pretty good, to be quite frank with you. What could you use it in? Any of your cooking. Definitely, if you get into like stir fries or anything like that, just cut them. Just cut the ends off and throw the whole pepper in. Throw it in whole and stir fry it that way. That's my best advice for it. Now, they are kind of long, so you're not going to want to eat them like spaghetti if you do throw them in the stir fry. So, yeah, you would have to cut them up. Cut them to like bite size that you would feel comfortable. You don't need to cut them into little pieces, get the seeds out. Just cut them into small sections that you're comfortable chewing. Throw them right in your stir fries. That's perfect. Me, personally, I throw the whole pepper in whole. And I kind of just use my fork to break it up as I want to pull off it. But however you're comfortable cooking your peppers, that's how I would use it. What else could you use it for? Definitely dry this out. It's a thin wall. Okay, so you can see it's thin. So basically, thin wall peppers like this, you almost don't even have to pick them off the plant before they dry. And sometimes that's a good thing to do. If it's a really hot, dry summer, just let them dry in a plant and just pick them off when you need them and then grind them up. But if it's kind of a wet summer and it's constantly getting rained on and it's moist and humidity is high, it may not be a good idea because like where I live, where I'm from, if I was to do that, black mold would get on these things and just rot them out completely. You'd lose a lot of your crop because of the mold conditions up here. So in that sense, I would not recommend it. But it is definitely a pepper that would make a good drying pepper. Can you make a sauce with this? I definitely think you can make sauces with it. I think you can make salsas with it. I think you could do a lot of things with it. All depends on your heat target when you're making sauces and salsas. If you want a low heat target, yeah, this is one of them. This heat is so low and so easy to work with. You can make a lot of salsas that are going to be generally easier for your guests. Maybe not for you. Maybe you like things hotter, but for your guests may not like things as hot as you. This would definitely be a good pepper to introduce to to your guests. So I don't know what else to say about it. It's just it's an interesting pepper. It's a good pepper. I will offer seeds hopefully at the end of the year on my website. If I get enough of these off of here, I don't know if I'm going to get enough. If not, I'm sure you could pick them up somewhere else. That's it. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.